Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Are you liking the scary music?
Spooky music.
Get a little closer to the mic.
And fog. I'm just not very loud, sorry. To talk louder. Yes, the music is great. I'm loving it with all of this.
Okay, so if you're going to give me any kind of
Wait, what's happening? What about this song? What do you mean? I think it's great. I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
That's all you had to say.
I love it.
Hello, this is a song that I wrote a long time ago when I was living in San Jose, California. I just wanted to write something spooky, and I did. When I listened to it, I think of that movie 24 Weeks Later.
Okay.
Remember that movie? That infection movie?
Is this a zombie movie?
No, these are the infected.
They're not
They may as well be
infected
zombies.
No. Doesn't
They
that
were
happen
just-
sometimes? No, I don't know if I remember that one. Isn't there like another one that's like something nights, something days, something nights? Maybe I'm confusing them.
Lonely Days and Lonely Nights? That's a song from the 50s.
No, it's a movie.
Lonely Days and Lonely Nights.
Yes, that too.
Okay. I think that was a Chubby Checker song or Fats Domino. Can't remember. No, 28 Weeks Later is. I know y'all want to keep listening to this, but it's got to go. We're going bye-bye now on that. Thank you. I had gotten a friend of mine to sing this part female style.
Oh, dope.
Thank you, Rich Mendez. You're a genius. Again, you created a hit without even trying it.
Hits.
Did you hear?
Without trying it.
I made a hit without trying it.
Is what you did.
That's what I did. Like an arachnid.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Did you hear that? I just did that.
You did that.
Anyways, all right. So
Making history.
welcome to Release the Bats podcast, and the guest today is Jenny Lynnette Trigo.
Yeah.
And she is a local artist here in Austin. She does some dancing. She does some firing. I mean, like with fire. She's just an all-around friendly, nice person. And I just thought it'd be really cool to get her here so we could do some talking. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Cool. What's your mood right now?
I'm chilling. Had a long work day yesterday, Thursday.
Damn, you've been tired since yesterday?
Shit. I mean,
God
recovery, it's that recovery process, happens the next day. It takes about a day for full recovery.
You got to be cocoon. You got to
Like
get
I might
into
need
a
to
cocoon.
go. Yeah, I definitely cocoon it up for recovery time. Like blankets, always, and pillows, lots of them.
Speaking of pillows, I was at my therapy session earlier. I go see a therapist because your boy is fucked up.
Happens.
My level of issues as embedded with childhood trauma, anxiety, a little bit of depression, sometimes not so much. But anxiety is the sister of depression. Anyways, or anxiety is the doormat before you wipe your feet to walk into the house of depression. That's how I look at it. And I went to therapy. I went to physical therapy because I have vertigo also. It's called proximal vertigo, and basically, if I do this too fast, I could go. Ugh. If I move my head too quick, I've never. It's not messing around with my video game life though, which is good because I'd stay.
That's good.
On one spot, and I just do that. But if I had to play like soccer or something, I'd be a mess.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
About that?
Yeah.
So how is it when you go running? Does it?
It's only a problem if I have my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm jogging, and if I look down.
Yeah.
And say someone sends me a text, and I look back up, it's just I get dizzy. I get dizzy.
It's like a delayed. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've never had.
Or if I'm walking like on a bunch of like tiles and they all look the same, or if I'm walking down a hallway and there's like doors on either side and it looks like the same.
Yeah.
I get a little dizzy. Not full on dizzy. There's only been two times in my life where I've gotten dizzy enough where I actually fell down.
Yeah.
One time I was jogging at Town Lake and everything just literally went sideways. Another time was at the airport when I was going through TSA, and my ears were just plugged and I couldn't hardly hear. And I was like, excuse me, because I was about to give him my ID, and I went, to unplug my ears, and I just heard, in my head, I heard, ew, and I was like, what? And then all of a sudden,
Whoa.
like, it was like
Weird.
both of my eyes were just look like a gecko. Like I just fucking,
Like a chameleon.
And I fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell down, and the TSA agent, she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I feel all right. I feel okay. I just can't see anything." And everything was just spinning. It was fucking insane.
That's scary. That's like.
And it went away like, about 3 minutes. I was fine. I was back to normal. My heart rate didn't increase. I thought maybe it could have been like a heart attack or something like that. That didn't happen. But up until that point, though, I have been having like these episodes where I would kind of get dizzy for no reason, and that made me really scared. I didn't know. It was contributing to my anxiety, and it was making me feel like something's wrong. Am I going to die? Is this how it's like right before you have a seizure or that kind of shit? I mean,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So we all know what anxiety is. Anxiety is literally conspiracy theories about yourself. You thinking you're gonna die. You think you got,
fears,
like one time my stomach was hurting. And I was like, dude, I got liver cancer, and this is what it is. And if this is what it is, and this is how I gotta go, then this is just the way it has to happen. And I was like, and I went, and then I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, this is your gallbladder. and then they removed my gallbladder, and I was like, can I look at it? They showed it to me.
That's exciting.
It looked like a piece of poo. It was gross.
Did you try to keep it?
It looked like
I would have wanted to keep it.
It looked like and they had it, and it was sliced open.
Okay.
So it looks like there was rocks in it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it looks fucking gross. It was a mistake. I should never have asked. Not to say I didn't like any body part that I've ever lost. I also lost my appendix. And yeah, that's the only. Oh, I lost a tooth. This is a bridge. Yeah, because I fell off my bike and then landed on my face.
Ooh.
Cinco de Mayo, 2003.
Ouch.
Yep.
I luckily have not had anything really lost. Haven't had any crazy surgeries.
You're all intact?
Shoot. Physically, maybe. No. I mean, haven't really had serious injuries, really. I know I definitely need to do some, like, dental work soon. That's probably the most.
I hate the dentist.
Yeah, I'm afraid, but it is what it is, I guess. I was gonna say the vertigo thing reminds me of kind of like, do you feel, I don't know if you've ever like had a moment where you lost oxygen at all at any point in time, but there was a time once when I wonder if it's kind of the same feeling. I'm trying to like relate.
Okay, tell me about your experience.
So I went running one time, but it was when I was super into fitness, and I was like run for a long time, and I was wearing this like thing around my waist. It's supposed to like, I guess, help you sweat more in your midsections, and then it was supposed to like help you trim more. Blah,
wow.
Blah. But it was also pretty snug, right? So then when I got home and I took it off to take a shower, it like all the oxygen, I guess, I like took in, like the oxygen started to balance out again or something. But I took it off and basically got like super lightheaded, and I had the shower running, so then the water, like I had to sit down on the ground and just lay down to like recuperate.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see, like you were saying, but all I could hear the water, and I could hear the water, but it was also like it was in a tunnel for a second, like just for a little bit. And I was like, had to sit there and just like regroup, and then sat up, and it was fine again. But I wonder, is it like kind of like that? Like
it could have been.
The vertigo situation,
well,
like the feeling is kind of. I'm just trying to like understand it.
No, right. Well, cool. I've done a lot of before I found out that before I was diagnosed with vertigo, proximal vertigo. I did the major mistake of looking online. So I went down a rabbit hole of just seeing all the things that make you dizzy, everything from AIDS and cancer to to just enough. Like you're tired or something, But I did hear throughout my quest and journey on Google, I did run into this one where this one site where they talked about low blood pressure can cause you to feel dizzy.
Yeah.
If your blood pressure drops too low really quick,
True that.
you can get really dizzy, and that's the thing too. I don't know if that's what happened to you. Also,
yeah, maybe.
Also, if you're really really low on fluids, yeah, you can get dizzy too.
Yeah.
You can have if you're dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, you can have like heart palpitations.
Oh yeah.
You can have
like vomit. And stuff,
you can get it could
weird
it'll
stuff,
it'll fuck you up.
Pretty sure
It'll fuck you up. You need to have water.
Yeah, it was definitely after I'd finished running, so it could have been all of those things. I have no idea. But
how long ago was that?
That was a long time ago. Like years. I used to run distance, so that was like after running probably like 3 or 4 miles or something crazy.
Wow, I did 2 miles this morning.
Dope.
Yeah, the least time where I feel throughout the day I'll get dizzy. But in the morning for a good 2 hours, I'm not at all.
Yeah,
so that's the time to get it done, I think, because I don't like running when I get dizzy when I'm running. It makes me feel like shit, and then I get sad.
That's also scary because like, what if something happens and you're by yourself and like, what are you gonna do?
Well, that's why I put that post on Facebook. I'm like, if I die exercising, just let my son know I died trying to better my life.
I know, but
it's like a joke, but it's sort of like real.
I was like, I know he's joking, but I also know he's probably really serious.
No, I was being serious. Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, laugh emojis, and I was like, no, motherfucker, if I drop dead,
I died trying.
I died trying to take care of myself because I fucked my life up by drinking and drugs. There's only like so much drinking and drugging you can do in your life before one of them catches up with you.
That's true.
Eating bad. That was one of the reasons why I haven't drank. I haven't had a drink now and shit. I think about 80 days now.
High five.
I'm sober now. There's no guarantee that I will ever be sober the rest of my life, but for the time being in the foreseeable future, I cannot and will not allow myself to drink because it just gets in the way. Because when I drink, dude, you know what happens? When I drink?
What happens?
I just want to go to 7-Eleven and get like a tub of ice cream and like make a burrito out of it and like potato chips. Like I don't give a fuck what I eat. We'll just eat anything. Let me have that pizza. Oh, sir, we just put it. It's still cold. I'm like, I don't care. Give it to me.
That happens.
It will be
like,
okay.
Anything is great. I don't feel and care about anything right now.
Yeah,
that could be a thing.
My judgment goes out. It goes out of the window whenever it comes to my health when I'm drinking. So. Drinking was a big obstacle in the way, and I had to go to AA. So I went to AA, and a lot of people were like, "Well, you shouldn't tell people that you're in AA because it's anonymous. You can do it at your own discretion. You're just not supposed to mention other people that are in AA, which is fine." But I feel like it's okay if I talk about it because what if there's somebody out there considering going to AA? It's good. It's good. There is an element of God or a higher power there.
They do like a step thingy, right?
There is the steps. I've only done the 3 steps so far, but going to the meetings, reading the big book, the AA book, and realizing that I have a community there to fall back on if I ever want to drink. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think about drinking. I just feel happy not to be drinking because I know now that that's out of the way. I have no excuse to not get the shit that I need to get done, and alcohol is just in the way. It was just in the way. So that's why I had to stop drinking.
It's good that you can be aware of that, like know that that's
lucidity.
The hindrance.
Yeah, being lucid for that one moment.
Yeah.
It's going, okay, this is not working. I can't. How can I go jogging if I'm hungover?
Oh God, for real.
Fuck that.
Talk about needing like recovery days.
Yeah, I worked out hard all week, and then I go out and I drink on Thursday, and I wake up and there's like pizza box around my bed, and
like,
I'm hungover. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was all for nothing. So there's nothing worse than working out all week and then just throwing it all away and getting wasted all week. That's just it was a vicious circle, and so fuck it. So I did need AA to sort of like get that structure so I can get out of it, and I feel good about it.
It does. It's super helpful to have a support system, like no matter where it is. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's dangerous people that you could have support systems with, but there's also not. And I think when you find good support systems, it's pretty healthy. And what's the other word?
It's healthy. It's positive. There's nothing bad I can say about it.
Yeah, it's there's like an essence for me when I find good people to be around, and there's like an essence of just so much gratitude because it's hard to find sometimes. I'm glad that those groups exist, like even if it's not for everybody or they don't want to follow it as strict as other people or whatever, like I think it's still good to have a place to go.
Oh, no, definitely. Because the one thing that I've noticed also about recovery is that everybody's journey to recovery is different.
Yeah.
Like there's some people there's some people in those rooms that haven't had a drink in 15, 20, 30 years, 40, 30 years. I've seen dudes in there 35 years. Women or men, you know what I'm saying? But these are people that if they had one drink, it's game, it's over. It's over, like for them and their lives, and you see how this how addiction grips these folks. So everyone's journey is different. Like to me, I don't think about drinking. My thing is like I'm gonna drink one day, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's probably not a good idea if you do.
Right.
So if I ever do think it's a great idea, I'm just like, well, no, let me call my sponsor real quick and get grounded, and that's why I go to the meetings. It helps me stay focused. Nice. It's not for everybody though.
Yeah.
AA is not for everyone. If you can do it on your own, cool. If you can't, I would strongly suggest AA. The only thing about AA is that there's the element and idea of a higher power, which for me, I do believe in God, and I do believe in angels, and I do believe I'm being looked after. My ancestors are looking after me, and I do believe in the power of prayer. So for me to accept the higher power was just a hop, skip, and a jump away. I'm like, oh, well, I do have a higher power. And so it helped me.
Even that higher power, like I'm sure they have a specific meaning that they have towards it, but that could also be different for everybody.
The higher power doesn't have to be God. It could be with the power within yourself.
Of course.
It's one of those things. But it does kind of have like this element of community in there. Right. And it's really important for people's recovery. And there's nothing, and if you ever look through the 12 steps you're supposed to do and the 12 traditions of AA, these are just regular ass rules that anybody
like
can do.
Some kind of guideline.
That anybody can do. It's universal. You don't have to be an alcoholic to read and appreciate the process of something like that, because it literally helped me. Seriously, I didn't think it was going to, but I feel okay and I feel good. Anyways, let's talk about you on the way over here. You were telling me about your classes. What do you do in your classes? You teach, instruct, what?
Yeah, teaching a Fusion Foundations class, which is basically the technique of mainly the tribal fusion style of belly dance, but I feel like the belly dance, it depends what style of belly dance you're kind of working with. There are specific movements to different styles and regions and stuff like that, but fusion to me is basically a combination of various styles combined with belly dancing. So fusion belly dance would be like, I like belly dance, but I also like modern dance. I also like hip hop. And so those would probably be the styles you see the most in my dance style. And so when it comes down to class, I teach the basic belly dance movements that I was taught, which is basically isolations of all of your various body parts. And we explore what can you do with them. And then we do a little bit of like follow along stuff, and then I'm trying to have it give some time, which it's only an hour, there's like only so much time you have because there's warm up and cool down also. But I try to at least leave my students with something that they can take with them. Like we go through the whole body and take these movements that we learned and play with them on your own, because I very much want to teach technique so you are safe, but also like dance like yourself, so take the tools and do it right, but like, can we like fuck it up how you want to, kind of just,
so there's safety precautions involved when you're belly dancing?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Like what would be a risk? I can imagine, because when I see people belly dancing, it looks so fluid and it doesn't look like you're putting yourself in any kind of precarious pose.
It's exhausting, man. Yeah, there's a whole posture thing you have to maintain. It also depends like the stamina and the health and I think like how physically capable the person doing it is too. Like if your muscles aren't super strong, like around your hips, like you are going to be more susceptible to injury. That's like doing anything, you know? So it's like being aware of those limitations within yourself, and everybody has different ones, also like how flexible you are will either help or hinder you from being able to do a certain movement. you know, like if I'm not very flexible in my upper body, like I might not be able to have a really great chest lift because I can't push through that far. So there's just, there's a lot of things like that need to happen in order to get everything kind of like loosey goosey.
Straight up. I've seen some of your videos.
Thing.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos, and also I saw one where you're doing fire stuff.
Oh yeah, we do the fire stuff.
You do fire dancing. When did you get into that? Why did you get into that, and when did you get into that?
Before I go into that, I'm also teaching a choreography class, which I want to say my students are doing so great. We're doing a choreography series, and I'm hoping to have 3 other ones happen within the year, but this one's 3 months long. And
where are you teaching at? What's the place?
This is actually a private studio spot. My student / friend, Jamie, I love her so much. She lets me, or is allowing me to use her space, and then she's taking the class, and she learns. I have the space, helped her put up some mirrors. And with the choreography series too, like because the space is so small, I capped it out at about 6 people. So that's how small of like impersonal.
Very intimate,
Yeah, and I like it. It's been working out. It's been working out really well. And it's also awesome because all of my students are all great artists. So it's like we all have our niches in the community, and like I like to meet up with them and see what they're doing and what they've done and where they're at in their journeys too, outside of class, you know. That's really cool. But yeah, so that's what's happening with that, and that's where we are. It's a private space. And if people are interested in the foundations class, is more of a drop-in. The choreography class is more of a you sign up for 3 months at a time kind of thing, is kind of how I'm operating it now. The fire stuff. I got into flow arts a long time ago.
What's flow arts?
Flow arts. So any kind of like, you can use, I feel like with flow arts, you can or don't have to use a prop, but you can use a prop. And my main prop was hula hoop. So then I started.
I've seen people dance with hula hoops.
Yeah. So it was hula hoop dancing, doing like tricks and stuff. And
can I pause you there for a second?
Something's happening.
No, I had a burp. But the thing I was thinking about when you said props and people dancing, and you said flow arts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember a show called Soul Train.
Yeah.
And there was a dude on Soul Train, and he used to dance with the basketball.
Dope.
And he would
do
just
like some contact juggling stuff with the basketball.
Yeah, but and he was just like some fly ass black dude, and he was just like glasses and stuff, but he was just like, you know, that one fool just dancing alone, but he's like balancing this basketball. And he would just bring it around, and he would do all these tricks with it, with his legs and put it in between. This dude was bad to the bone.
So did he legit like make hoops though?
I didn't think that there was a hula hoop thing or a
basketball.
Yeah, there was like a basketball thing there, but he was just he looked like
doesn't matter.
First of all, he was dressed to kill.
Dope.
All right, dude was decked out. This is like Soul Train era, 83 maybe.
I got that.
And this
style.
Yeah, but he was the only dude dancing alone.
But he had a basketball.
But he had a basketball.
That's the thing
and
about
he
flow
looked fly
arts,
as hell.
man. Like you don't feel like you are alone when you are with a prop.
So that's when you said the flow arts. I was like, what's that? Oh, when you use a prop, I thought
basketball.
Oh, there's that black dude with the basketball.
Hell yeah, yes. That would
Soul
be
Train.
that to me is flow art.
And if you saw it, and I'm pretty sure we'll find a video here on YouTube, we could show you later.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, dude's just phenomenal.
Yeah,
Anyways,
just grooving.
Continue. All right, so you're talking about prop dancing and
So I started with a hula hoop. That was very actually lived back home, and then I was connecting more through actually the internet with people on, remember that meetup, like meetup.com or something that used to be a thing. And it was like people that had common interests, they would like just make times to meet up, and people would go and meet up, and you'd like do whatever it was that you were trying to do. It was a website.
That sounds familiar to me. I don't think.
Okay.
I think that's, but it's obviously before Facebook or something.
Yeah, it was a while back. I don't know who was first. Anyway, but I connected with a lady there. Her name's Michelle, and I forever consider her my hoop mama because it wasn't. I was practicing and learning straight just off the computer, like any videos I could find. And then my brother at the time lived in Austin, and Michelle had put up a thing on meetup.com, and she's like, hey, we need people for this event, and we're hoop dancers, and we're dressed as peacocks. And I was like, okay,
that sounds cool.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
And so my brother lived here. I drove or came up to see him and stayed with him and go to that event. And that was when I first got my first like legit hula hoop, which is actually a massive hula hoop that gave me bruises, and it was heavy as fuck. Like,
it was a massive hula hoop?
It was big. It was very large.
I didn't even know that they came in sizes.
Yeah, so beginner hooper would want to use a big heavy hoop because it gives you more time to like for your mind and your body to process like what's happening.
Yeah,
it gives you more time to transition into tricks, into like moving it off and on your body. And then when you get smaller, that's more of like the super fast technical moves, lighter and faster. You know, you want to throw it around and be super quick. That's the difference.
I've seen some people do some really fast, crazy stuff before.
Yeah.
I never noticed the size of the hoop though.
Oh yeah, that's the main difference in the sizes and why you want to use. So for beginners, I recommend like the base. I used to make them to sell hula hoops. I haven't in a while. I still have some. Actually, I'm trying to find homes for, but the main goal for anyone, like rule of thumb, is to get one that's up to your belly button, like when you're standing.
Oh, okay.
Like that's how big it should be for you.
Will any hula hoop do? Can you just like go to Toys R Us and buy a hula hoop?
Usually not. I mean, those are good if you are super skilled with a light hoop and that's what you're looking for. Yeah. But a lot of the ones that you see out there that are heavy are made out of like PVC pipe, and they have different weights to them because the PSI is different. Do
those ones have like little marbles in them too?
You can make them with stuff inside.
Why is there marbles in there?
The ones that like at the store, I think it's just for fun. I really don't know. Like you hear the sound.
I do
like,
hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are just for fun, but I'm not sure if it has any other purpose. Maybe the weight or something.
I think you're right. I think it's just for fun.
It's fun. It is fun.
Yeah, because I broke my cousins one time and I took the marbles out.
You wanted the marbles.
They were just clear though. They were nothing.
Oh, you're like, these are not fun marbles.
Yeah. She never really used it, but when I broke it, she acted like a big deal. It was no big deal. I wanted the marbles. Me and my cousin Rudy. Anyways,
yeah.
So yeah, that's my story about breaking that. So how do you what?
Whatever you want to say. Okay. I was going to finish the story about
what stereotypes are you actively trying to break regarding belly dancing?
Oh man,
they're not all trying to seduce you. Okay, I know.
Definitely not.
Okay,
I've gotten that too.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a skinny person. You don't have to be.
No way. You don't have to be a certain size.
I've heard that. I've heard the contrary, that a belly dancer should have a little bit of a belly.
I've heard that too.
I don't know if it's true.
I think it's opinion. You know, like it's perspective and opinion. Yeah, I also don't feel like I don't personally try to sexualize the style. I feel like maybe some dancers do and some dancers don't, and like it's kind of up to whatever they want to do with it. I have a love-hate relationship with performing because I usually dance as a meditative practice and because it makes me feel good, but performing is kind of different because you're there doing it for other people. And so like I sometimes like it and sometimes don't like it, and sometimes gives me a lot of anxiety.
I could see that. Yeah.
And I do it though because like it does make me feel like it helps me build confidence, and I do like to connect with people in that way, and it does make you feel, or makes me feel like every time I'm like getting dressed to perform, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I also feel like there's a part of it that I've been thinking about. I feel like I'm suiting up for battle sometimes in a way, like, and it's just, I always feel like every time I get to a performance or I'm on a stage, like I've met a checkpoint in my life or something. Like, okay, I made it to this next like happy moment where I get to just like push out all my energy and share it with people until the next time, you know, because life just gets like mundane and and it can give me that thing to like focus on and work towards for sure.
That kind of, but something like belly dancing, like you're putting yourself out there, and you're
all
exposed
those things
a little bit,
come out
right?
Too.
The clothing,
yeah,
you're
like
exposed a little bit.
It depends on the style. Like there's different styles where some are more covered up and some are more like, or some are not. from what I understand, it kind of started to get a little more like revealing, like through like Hollywood movies and stuff like that, like started to kind of change.
So you think Hollywood kind of like perpetuated a stereotype regarding
I think a
belly
little
dancing?
I think a little bit.
Is it spiritual thing? Where does it come from? Does it come from
It's I think also a matter of like perspective and opinion. I'm not 100% sure because there are so many different styles. It's kind of, to me, I'm not sure exactly what like it depends what style you're looking at to determine where it came from kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from what I understand, like women would do it for each other more of a thing than like to entertain, but that's just one thing that I've heard, like you can't really say, and I wasn't living in that time period, so like what do I really know, mm-hmm. I'm just taking what I have learned from the people that have learned before me, and learning from that, and it's just like with hoop dance now that I see, like it just morphs and continues to grow, just like with any art, I feel.
That's what it should. That's what it should do.
It should
be progressing. I'm sure that there's some traditionalists, but
there definitely are. And I always like want to be respectful, but I mean, I also want to like do what feels right to myself, so I'm not ever trying to disrespect anybody, but I personally see it as a spiritual thing. I am more of an improv dancer too. Choreography feels very, very performer-y to me. And with improv, I feel like I'm able to just be in my body, like with whatever happens, and like with the music. And that to me is like ultimate meditation space for me.
That just made me think of something, because you said that like all the dances that you've done, I've after seeing a couple of your videos, and I'll put links in the description also, so you can check out some of our videos on YouTube. But one of the things that you just said that reminded me. So I was watching this, Slayer, right? The band Slayer.
The what?
The band Slayer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the drummer, Dave Lombardo, there was an interview with him.
Okay.
And he was talking about this time when he was tracking a song, and he goes, yeah, well, I don't play the same thing every time. I'm like, I'm playing.
Fair enough,
he's
man.
Like, I'm playing.
I love that.
He goes, I'm playing. He's like, I'm playing the song, but I'm playing the structure of the song, but I'm not playing every single hit the same every time, and I'm not doing the same fills every time.
Right.
So that was, because up until that point, I thought Dave Lombardo was mechanical and it was a machine.
Yeah.
But he's fluid, and like he gets into the zone, like a meditative zone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's not always going to be the way it was the first time you did it, but still within the realm of what you're trying to get across.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's definitely how I approach, like, when I have gigs coming up or I have to perform for something, I just try to listen to the music enough. I do practice it, because sitting there and thinking about it is one thing, doing it is another thing. And I think you can get benefits out of both of them. Like there's benefits out of just visualization. Like that's for sure. There are benefits of actually doing the movements. And it's hard to like not get caught up in your head about like the timing and all those things. If you're trying to make a choreography, then you want to be super specific, and it can actually be way more stressful. So what I do is I just kind of give myself parts in the song to like check in with myself. Like I remember like lately right now I'm listening to a song that I'm going to perform to, not right in this moment, but been listening to it and thinking about music cues and like what do I at least want to do at this one part in the song, and that's my goal to reach. But everything in between, from that point to that point, I'm just like, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. It's definitely, like you're saying, like rough guideline, and just follow it. But I don't want to think about it so much when I'm dancing, because then I'm not enjoying it as much as I want to. And I do want to share. I think I want to share when I perform, like more of the energy and the meditative space that I feel, and hopes that can like vibrate out to people. And like, I don't know if that can help anybody at all, but I would hope that they took something from seeing me dance in some way. I don't know.
I think that there might be some dancers that might thrive on having a structure.
Oh no, for sure. Like, and it's amazing. Like if you can definitely keep up with and I'm trying to think about doing that too, to where, I mean, like just like in the choreography classes I teach, like last night I was super humbling myself because I'm just long work day trying to like make my mind work. It feels super mushy and I'm having to guide people and I'm also trying to not beat myself up at the same time because I'm just like trying to check out as I'm making the movement so it feels right, but then I have to check back in to translate it and it's like, hold on a second, and I kind of always have to like take a little bit of time to even understand my own self.
Yeah,
because I normally am not thinking so much when I dance. And so it's interesting to choreography and improv are two different animals. But yeah, there's equal lessons, I think, from both of them, like to use together.
Like I had like this rock band called High Watt Crucifixers, and it was like a rock metal band. And I wrote all the music except for one song. Lyrics were written for one song by my drummer. I have to say that because I know he's gonna listen to this and he's gonna be like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Written by you, bro. We got it.
He's all he'll still remind me. I wrote this letter. I wrote the lyrics for Kronos, dude. I'm like, okay, fine, thank you. But there you go, Chris. Anyways,
got you, Chris.
no, but for guitar players though, I've met guitar players that are just like, all right, go ahead. I'm gonna do my guitar lead now. And they'll just be like, blah, 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 and then they're like, all right, let's do it again. And they'll do something different. And I'm like, hey, you didn't do, that's what, hey.
Right.
And
what is that like? I'm so interested to hear like what it's like in the musical world for that same kind of idea.
I need, as a guitar player, if I'm doing a guitar lead, like all these people, like this is going to sound stupid, but a lot of people think I'm like some ripping, shredding guitar player. And I'm pretty good. I'm a bit above average in that, and I used to be way better when I was a kid. But, it's like riding a bike. If I give me a week, I'm like back on board with it, right? I can still do that stuff. Okay. I need, but people don't understand when they listen to recordings is like, I spent weeks mapping out exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And then there's some people that can just go in there and just be like, yeah, I'll do it now. And they'll just do something amazing. And I'm like, what? There's no way you can outdo that. And then they'll do something else. I'm like, that's amazing too. Some guitar players are just, they're going to feel it and they just go through it. And then me, I'm more like, I have to struggle through it and I got to map it out. I can't really just do stuff off the cuff. So, but a lot of people think I'm like some like guitar whiz. I'm not. It's hard work is what I'm trying to say.
It is.
It's hard work to try to, sound like you're doing it fluid. It's really not, which sounds to me a lot, because it's art in a sense. This is just as what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's the same. It definitely like to go life happens and all that stuff, and how these classes are working right now is we have a class every week, so I only have a week to like add on choreography, and I'm rolling with it, but it does bring up those anxious feelings as it's like a lot of pressured time and stuff like that. And I like the challenge though, but essentially my goal, if life didn't get in the way, would be to like spend ample amounts of time working with the music if I had it,
if you were able to.
If I could. And I do have time, I think even just an hour at a time, like I know I can make happen, and I have been doing, is helpful, like just to rehearse and refresh memory and stuff like that. And then to have more time to even like relax into the process of building is a thing too. Like, cause I think I feel like I don't make up movements as easily if I feel pressured, so I try to give myself, it's helpful to actually for me to approach the choreography the day after we have class, cause it's fresh from what we just did. And then I can go and at least in my mind, think about it and think about what are the next steps. The other challenge I've been having which I'm sure happens with music too, is like you're only one part. So then going into class and it's like I have 5 other bodies to do this thing, or not to do this thing, but to put into a formation that will work. And so like last night,
that's exactly like a band. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you have to have that time too to even see what works and what doesn't work. And then it's like process of elimination. And then it's like everybody catch up to that. Okay, this works. Now this is what we're doing. And then now let's rehearse up to this point, and this is solid. And now we'll add on. Like it's just it's a like process inside and outside of itself.
That means you need to find even maybe the right crew. the right kind of energy, the right kind of like cohesiveness. Because I've jammed with people in bands that are awesome, but nothing ever came to fruition because just for whatever reason our musical mojo wasn't working.
True that. I think that could be a thing for sure.
So what about your music selection though? You said something about hip hop earlier. I'm a big fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
What do you dance to? Do you dance like Lil Jon, Ludacris? What?
I think I
3 6 Mafia.
I appreciate hip hop and the culture of hip hop and all the elements of hip hop. But I very much like, I like breakdancing a lot. And I've actually hung out.
You know how to breakdance?
Just a little bit.
I was a fat breakdancer when I was a kid. I got a picture somewhere. I'll find it and I'll put it. Yeah, you'll see it.
I feel like with breakdancing too, like it does not matter the size. Like I legit saw this big dude, like no offense to anybody, but he was a larger dude. And he like went into this battle on his head. Like I don't know how he did it, but he like slid in to the circle on his head.
Wow, like a cheese grater.
Like,
like a cheese grater.
And I was like, that's amazing. Like I feel like it's the same. It doesn't matter what your size is. Like there's some strong dancers out there.
Oh, dude, I don't give a fuck about being fat. I mean, that's the problem with me. Well, the reason why I got my health issues is because I didn't give a fuck about being fat. Being fat is unhealthy, especially when you're 45 and my age and you've been doing drugs and drinking your whole life. I don't do none of that anymore. I got a son. I'm straight. Anyways, breakdancing. So I was a breakdancer in the 80s, and I got pictures. And I'm going to actually show you this picture. You can't see it, but you're looking at it right now.
Okay.
It's me, and I got my hands. I got my hands behind my back, and I got like these like stupid puffy like parachute pants.
Dope.
And there's some white shoes there and some big red fat laces. And my hair is kind of crazy. And I was taking...
Sweet.
Yeah, so there's that picture. And then also I think I got another picture I took of me in elementary school. And I had a shirt and it just said breaking across the street. I was like a big break... I was like the Electric Boogaloo. I like Beat Street.
Yeah, Electric Boogaloo.
I like Wild Style, all that stuff. And, I remember I used to wear like... leather spikes. And I was never a good breakdancer. But in 5th grade, Grant School... I remember right before I graduated, I entered a breakdancing competition, and I came in 2nd place. Yeah, and the song I did was
what song was it?
What was it?
Was it hip hop or of course it's a hip hop song, but like was it like a break beat? Or
it was a break beat, but it was
Is it a popular song?
Yeah, it was on the radio. I want to say it was like Sheila E.
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was, but everything was a breakdancing song back in those days. But anyways, yeah. So I had an award, and I remember thinking, I was like, and I remember I carried it, but I think I was like, I wasn't up until like 7th grade when I became like really aware of like how people like would make fun of me being fat and stuff like that. And I don't know what people get made fun of being fat or being tall or being skinny or whatever. Dude, when people made fun of me being fat, I would just challenge them to a fight, and that's how I did it. That's how I did it. I'm like, yeah, I'm fat. You're ugly.
I got a sandwich right here.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, let's do it.
Knuckle sandwich.
Dude, so many times. And then I got kicked out of a high school for fighting. And then I got kicked out of 2 high schools for fighting, one middle school for fighting. Because, the way I grew up, kind of like in a gang environment, it was like, dude, don't ever let anybody talk down to you. Don't ever disrespect you. So when people called me fat, I'm like, hey, dude, if I could change this, I would. But at the time I was just like didn't give I cared, but I cared more about what people thought about me. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because I think that you're nice and you're sweet for saying that.
Saying what?
You're like no offense to anybody.
I don't mean even to.
I'm not worried about it. I don't care.
Watching. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, man. I mean, I used to be overweight. That was the whole thing. I hated shopping.
I can't picture you overweight.
I lived with my father, and that was hard because he's a man and he's a male and I'm a female, and I was like had all these emotions and things which I don't know if he knew how to handle, but
no, he wouldn't have.
But there definitely was. I remember a time where I was like, I don't like shopping because I'm size fat. Like that's literally what I told him, and I hated it. I hated going. And then it was because of him and my brothers that were into working out that I got into working out.
Cool.
He was actually. It was like when I was like, I actually didn't get maybe to the size that I'm at now until I was like a junior in high school. You know, it was all of my younger years.
I've always been a little chubby my whole
healthy.
life. It's just like in the last, since my son's been born, I have definitely put on. I've weighed myself at the beginning of the year. I put on, since my son's been born, I put on like 40 pounds since my son's been born. And I don't know why.
It's stressful.
No, not really. Not my kid. He's really easy.
Oh, that's good.
He's really easy, and he's cool, and he's slick, and he's talking Korean now.
Like he's like me.
Dude, he like talks Korean now. He listens to K-pop, which is like Korean pop from Korea.
Yeah.
All the music is in Korean. This motherfucker's over here talking Korean in his room.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
It's fine with him. It's South Korea.
Know the languages, and he said he knows Spanish.
And he's
already
fluent in Spanish too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's just a really smart kid. And then, here's the thing about kids being smart, or gifted kids, because they want to put my kid in a gifted class and they want to skip him up. They want to skip him up a couple of grades. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if he's gifted as much as if you just spend time with them and show them shit. Dude, kids learn stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not that he's gifted or anything. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
But I think that if you took any kid, not any kid, there's some kids that have issues, but if you took, 90% of kids, let's say, I'm just throwing that number out of there and out there. I think that if you just spend time with them and just look at them and sit them down and show them how to do shit, dude, they do stuff. They'll just do it.
Yeah. Some I miss working with kids for sure.
What did you work with kids?
I worked with a few different after-school programs that were all for at-risk youth. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
good for you.
It was helpful for me and for them, I feel. It was fun for them, and I tried to make it fun, but the goal of all of them was recital, so we did have like some work that we needed to do every time. Yeah, but it was for those kids that that necessarily stayed after school in the areas that they lived in. I can't say that, it's like the worst areas, but they are, I guess, at risk because of like, I don't know if it's the side of town or just how much income or like what really determines that.
The parents.
But they would stay after school and they signed up for the program. One of them was teaching English through dance, and then the other one was just teaching dance and having fun. And then one of them I felt like a clown. This one was more like not a after school thing. It was go to the preschool, and they equipped me with a duffel bag full of like toys and a balance beam and things to make an obstacle course and a tumbling mat and like just
what grade
rolling out that was like preschool, like young. That was young. The other ones that were after school were elementary.
You were doing that in preschool?
I was, doing that at a preschool.
You were doing it at a preschool. I thought you were like in preschool doing it.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Just going and teaching them at the preschool. Yeah, and they were all different. And then I worked with the Carnival of the Arts too out of Pflugerville, and that was a little bit older age group.
Oh, yeah.
And that was cool. I was just a dance assistant there, but that was cool to see.
That's still cool for the experience.
It totally is, because their goal is also recital. That program provides them with costumes and the things that they're going to wear.
And you're helping kids.
Yeah.
You're helping kids, dude. That's awesome.
It's fun.
You and I were talking about this the other day. That's how you change the world, is you just create better people. You can't change the old people.
Yeah.
But by doing something like that, that's an actual contribution to societies. You're going to these schools, you're talking to these, you're helping kids focus and give them a path, something.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's going on at home with these kids?
It's true.
What I mean?
And you can tell the differences too in some kids, just like on how they talk to you or how they deal with like you can see like there's some kind of disconnect, and I try to like understand what's happening. There's only so much time, I feel like, when we're out after school, but I try to hear all of them enough, because sometimes there's like things they're not saying, but I legit have also had kids come straight up to me and be really honest and say like, maybe I shouldn't be alive because my whatever says I shouldn't. Like some person in their family's telling them, like being a bully to them.
That sucks.
And that does suck. And they don't all tell you, but some of them will. And it's like, no, is anyone really paying attention to this?
Right.
It's like what pops into my head, like
No, that's what I'm saying. What you're doing, what you've done anyways in the past, that's crucially important. I feel like teachers need to be paid more, honestly.
Yeah,
I think there need to be more programs like that for kids.
For sure. And there are some really just amazing programs, because I worked with different dance companies, but there are also ones that are like painting. There was like teachers that would go after school and like do a whole painting program with some kids. And I guess how it works is the kids sign up for whatever they want to do, or their parents help them sign up for whatever they want to do. So yeah, there's like, I think one that teaches yoga. There's one that teaches art. There's like just different programs within the city that teach different things, and we all show up and like provide our service at the same time, but just to whoever signed up for our class, essentially. I tried to
get a job. I think it was like 1990. When was Big Bad Voodoo Daddy? When were they like big? That was like 97.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. I don't know, man.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies. 3D 97. Anyways, whatever. 97. Let's just say it was 97. Okay. I had it in my head where I really wanted to go work with kids. I did, and I kind of still do. But I figured, well, how do I get into this? So I found a job to go apply for at some school. The school was in Cupertino, California, which is basically San Jose, California, just way up in the north side. And I went there for the job interview, and me, like a dumbass, I'm going to like an elementary school, and the job was to work with 5-year-olds, like kindergarten or something. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're good.
And so I'll go in there, and I'm basically dressed all slick, like I'm in Cherry Poppin' Daddies. I have pompadour.
Okay.
I got earrings. Like, I'm fucking just dumb. I think I was like 20, 21 years old maybe. And I had like this really cool like silk satin shirt, and I had like creepers on, and I walked in there and I was like, hey, I think I even had blue hair. Oh, yeah. Wow. And I was just like, hey, everybody, my name is Ricardo Mendez. I'm here for the job. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then there was other people there. There was like 3 other females that were there. And I'm like, oh, they're going for the job too. Damn. And I remember thinking, I didn't even think about being female. Females got a better chance.
I didn't think about being a female
I just got to be the best, student. I just got to be the best. Because they look like they just woke up. They look like they were in pajamas and shit. I'm like, they can't be serious. Look at them.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, so we go into this gymnasium. And I was like thinking, well, this is where the office is. I got to fill out the application at least, right?
Right.
I go into the gymnasium. They put me in the middle of the gymnasium. And then they're like, okay, are you ready? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. They're like, okay. So they open the doors, and I swear, dude, like at least 30.
They let the kids out.
5-year-olds run after me.
Oh, shoot.
And they're just like, oh, blah, blah, blah,
yeah, they're just like,
they're like looking at my hair and stuff, and they're just like goo goo gaga, and I'm 5 years old and all this shit. And I'm just like sitting there just going like, oh, okay. And then the woman goes, okay, control them. And I was like,
control them.
And I was like, okay, here, come on, guys, let's go to the wall. And they just weren't listening to me. And then this other mother that was there for the job, she leans over to me in my ear. She goes, tell them to walk like giraffes.
Yes, dude.
And then I was like, all right, we're all going to walk like giraffes now. And then they're like, oh, what, giraffes? And then they start walking like giraffes. And I totally didn't get the job. But that was my one and only time I ever tried to actually get a job working with kids.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a real story.
It takes clowning, man. Like, you have to just be creative.
I feel so embarrassed just even thinking that because that swing shit was like really popular, and I just remember I had my blue pompadour hair up. I looked like some psychobilly dude. And I was
amazing.
And I did look cool.
Yeah,
I did. I went
cute.
through a little swing phase. But yeah, I just remember. I feel embarrassed. I even showed up with that stupid like those Cuban like cigar shirts. You know what I'm talking about? Like with like the whatever.
Sounds great.
I didn't get the job, and then I think that was right after the job I had. I was working at this deli called Blimpies. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to work with kids, and also last year I went and I did a little music workshop for kids from middle school, and this was done over here at the Space that's located on South
Oh, yeah, I've
Menchik.
seen that. Cool.
Yeah, I went down there, and then that program is called Milk and Cookies, or it's called Spilt Milk or Spoiled Milk. Oh my God, I apologize, guys.
Is it like just musicians teaching?
Yeah,
kids?
musicians. Last time it was me, my friend Chepo, my friend Nick Snell, my friend Chris. Yeah, we all went down there and just like brought different brought different instruments.
Yeah.
And we set up our little stations,
Yeah.
and then kids show up, and we just show them.
Stations are
Yeah,
it.
we just show them. We do like a little clinic and show them
Yes.
the pedals and the keyboards and the guitar. We show them how it works. And some of these kids really, really grasp onto it. Some of these kids are just like they'd rather be at home playing Pokemon Go or something.
Yeah.
So some kids
That
are very
happens.
disinterested, but for the most part, generally they're all really into it. And I like working with kids, and I have a kid. I was thinking today, I don't think I'm gonna have another kid. It's just not happening. I want one. Anybody out there got a kid? Let me have it.
Just for a second.
Preferably 6 months, 6 months.
Can we skip that whole beginning part? Be great.
Yeah, just give me that part. That's what I want.
I just want the fun years.
Oh, okay,
Which
so
can be all of them.
Speaking of kids, I gotta go get my kid from school right now. So, if people want to get in touch with you, if people want to check you out, do you have an Instagram? Do you have a Facebook?
Yeah,
We have websites.
Instagram.
What? Give us the deets.
Facebook, Jenny Lynnette, it's performer page. Instagram at Jenny the Dragon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think those are the main ones. I do have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
It's just my name, Jennifer Trigo, or you might find it under Jennifer Trigo or Jenny Lynnette. I would maybe just search those two, which I still need to upload. But man, YouTube, like, you use quality and you lose quality in the video.
Really?
And yeah. And I also like to dance too. I was gonna mention, I did mention like the movements are hip hoppy and stuff. They can be movements, also can be very modern. But lately, I've been trying to dance to a heck of a lot more rock and roll and like metal genres.
We're gonna do it.
Wanted to mention that I super love, like, especially local cats. I'm trying to use a lot more local music because I want to like put that out there too for
Jenny and I
people.
plan on doing a little podcast again, but talking about metal music. We're gonna kind of. I'm just trying to figure out the ins and outs of listening to music while we talk about it, without YouTube getting all upset and crybaby about it. But yeah, let's figure that out and let's do that.
Yes.
But
dude.
for the time being, though, I want to thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you.
Orale.
Sizzle.
All right, let's do some outro music. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video.
Thank you
and
for
then
having me.
and also support the arts.
Support the arts.
She supports the arts.
Support all the dance. All the arts. All the people's making arts.
Okay, let's do it. This spooky music.
I like the spooky music.
Bye. Oh, we're still listening to it.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh yeah.
It's going out.
Endless cycles, breathless life goes out from the suffering, the nurturing, the mothering, this mothering.
fun, dude.
Yeah, isn't that?
Hopped all over the place. It was great.